Dear friends, this video is about personality. Personality, what is personality? And personality traits, or we can say trait theory of personality. Let's have a brief analysis about it. Generally, first of all, let us understand what is personality. Personality will be it's based on three components. Most of the psychologists unanimously accept it. And that's one. The first one is thoughts, next emotions, and then behavior. That means it is your thoughts, your way of thinking, cognitive skill, the cognitive component that will decide your personality. If the way of thinking is good, a positive, generally we say yours is a positive character or positive personality. Suppose you have a negative thoughts always, fault finding thoughts. We say that yours is a pejorative personality. Like that, thoughts, that means your way of thinking or the cognitive domain will decide. That's first one on the basis of that. And the second one on the basis of your emotions. What kind of emotions you have? Positive or negative emotions, or how you will be reacted to a particular situation in your life. Feelings, pains, happies, worries, and towards all these things, how you will be, towards all these emotions or all these feelings, how you will be reacting. That is regarding emotion. So on the basis of the emotions, and the third one is on the basis of your behavior, way of conduct, how you will be behaving with your parents, with your teachers, with the elders and colleagues. Your colleagues means co-workers, employees, how you have been behaving with them, what kind of relationship that you have got, what kind of interpersonal skills that you have got with them. So that is a behavior. So on the basis of thoughts, emotions, and then your behavior. On the basis of these three components, one's personality will be decided and personality will be traced out. So these three components will speak out your personality. That's one important point. And some other psychologists, they have gone to the extent of saying they have included still more factors, that is your inner being. What kind of inner being, inner soul, that will not be revealed. It will be always concealed. But it will be revealed by your thoughts and your actions sometimes. So your inner being, another one. And next, some other psychologists will say about regarding your habits. Your habits will also speak about your personality. Suppose your habits are very good, decent habits, clean habits, positive personality. Suppose you are you are getting up from bed at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning time. Going to bed, of course, after midnight at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. What irregular time it is. Even taking food is also quite in a disorder way. No promptness, no discipline, no punctual timings at all. So your habits, disorders, irregular habits, indecent habits will also speak about your character, your personality. So another factor is habits. And the next one is your background, your education background, family background, your parental background, your social background. And at the same time, the next important factor is environment. The environmental background will also speak about you. Because all psychologists and philosophers unanimously accepted that man is made of circumstances and man is made of environment. So it is a perennial truth. We can't deny it. So the long and short of the matter regarding the personality is that your personality will be based on thoughts, emotions, behavior, inner being, habits, background, and environment. So on the basis of these traits and your temperament and your character, personality will be traced out. And now when we come to the second point issue here in our discussion is traits, personality traits. What is a personality trait and how many traits are there? Our trait theory, we can say, There are unanimously, almost all psychologists have accepted some 5 big trait series, trait theory. And these 5 big traits are, number one, the first one is openness, next one is conscientious, next one is extroversion, and then agreeableness, and the last one is neuroticism. That means OCEAN, that is ocean, we can say. 5 big traits is equal to one ocean, a big sea. So the big sea has been compressed, these 5 traits are compressed in one word, ocean. Okay, let's have a discussion one by one. The first one is openness. Openness is it's transparent, very clear. You are understood. You are very clearly understood to others. You are just like an open book. Philosophers will say that a person who is thoughts, whose actions are just like an open book, when he is understood to others, it means that he is an open book. He is equal to God. So openness, one thing, transparent, receptive, and all that, very clear. The second one is conscientiousness. What is that? Conscientiousness is relaxed, assertive, and a reliable person. Suppose you are reliable, you are a very careful person, you are a very authentic, alert you have, and diligence you have in your life, in each and every activity in your life. Suppose you are very active, very diligent in your life, you are not careless. Then we can say conscientiousness. Some people will be very lazy. For example, if you want to, when you are writing the examination, the approach is very careless. That is against conscientiousness. And at the time of, even for attending the interview, there will not be any alertness, there will not be any fear, no on reference towards your job. That's quite against conscientiousness. So a person with consciousness will be very alert in his life, in almost all activities of life. Job, very alert, very diligent. Attending interview, very diligent. Business work, very diligent. Suppose a student is studying, always on reference towards the subject, towards teachers, and is very careful. So there is conscientiousness. The next one is extroversion. Extroversion means you will be revealing yourself to others, so that you will have a very wonderful interpersonal skills, wonderful human relations by that extroversion nature. And the next one is agreeable. Agreeableness means you will be agreeing each and everything. That means you have the feeling of the motive of accepting. Whatever happens, you will be receiving well. With stoicism, you will compromise yourself with what is given by the grace of God. You will be compromising. George Eliot, in his beautiful book, Mill on the Flaws, she says, in one wonderful context, she says, compromise is the only panacea. See, what a wonderful experience. Out of her personal experiences, she said, compromise with our life, with what we are given in our life. So there is the wonderful panacea. So agreeableness is nothing but accepting and compromising, reconciling with persons. Suppose you are married to one person with incompatibility, a lot of incompatibility between you and that person, but adjusting yourself and compromising yourself with the person. Suppose you have been appointed in one workplace and the work is not up to your taste, and you don't like that nature of work very much, but you are fated, destined to be appointed in that particular job. So you have to compromise yourself. See, either in respect of your partner or your job or business, whatever that is given by the grace of God, you have to accept, you have to adjust yourself with that. You have to compromise yourself, and that is nothing but agreeableness. And the next one is neuroticism. Neuroticism is emotional. Everybody will have that. Emotional and reactive reaction to something which is undesirable, and very anxiety for job, anxiety for examination, anxiety for different things, lot of anxiety, and above all, contradictory nature. Contradiction. So contradiction means Sometimes you will be accepting this, sometimes you will be rejecting, sometimes you feel satisfied with what you are given, sometimes no dissatisfaction. Just like how the sky is in the how the clouds in the sky always changing and changing. Like that, sometimes your thought will be changing. Contradiction. That contradiction is innate in the human mind, human life. This is what Rabindranath Tagore says in all his plays and novels also. In all his dramas, all his novels, you can find this kind of contradictory nature which is innate in our human life. So these five factors: ocean, openness, conscientiousness, and extroversion, and agreeable nature or acceptance, and the next one, neuroticism. So these five factors, big five factor theory in our personality. So five traits of theory we can say. So these, on the basis of these five factors, we can decide, yes, this person belongs to type A character, personality. This person belongs to type B character, personality. This person is aggressive. This person is neurotic. What is that? Narcissistic personality. This person has this borderline personality. This person is aggressive. This person is submissive in nature, character. Like that, we should decide. And when we come to some other two or three psychologists, most popular psychologists like Hans Eisenach, this man says very peculiarly, there are only three factors, not 5, 6, 7 and all that. Because some other psychologists will say mindfulness, adaptive, aggressive, submissive, like that, so many dimensions. But he says, the Hans psychologist says only three characters, and that is extroversion, which I have already referred to here in the big five. And the second one is neuroticism, very good, correct. That is quite innate in our nature. And extra additional one, he says, a different one, he says, is psychoticism. That means man, just like psychoanalytic, is moody, impulsive, and psychological disorders. On the basis of these things, we can decide one's personality. This is what Hans Eisenach says. And regarding Gordon, another psychologist, Gordon Alport, he says three factors, very important factors. Common factor, that is common trait, and individual trait. Common trait means people, the qualities. Suppose you have all types of character, different common qualities of the people. Suppose people have different types of mentalities, but common factors will be there. Suppose you have that common factor, it is a common trait. And suppose you have a different character, something individual, that is individual trait. Special quality will be there. Every individual has some special quality, that is special, or we can say individual trait. And the third one is cardinal. Cardinal means some dominant or some unique feature will be there. I would like to give an example. Suppose you think of Duryodhana in Mahabharata, you immediately think of his emotional nature, high self-respect, egoism, highly egoism he has. And if you think of Rama in Ramayana, you immediately think of, he is a well composed mind he has, and he is a stoic man, you will think. And if you just talk about Shakuni, immediately the striking a cardinal factor, trait is hypocrisy. So that man is noted for hypocrisy, that's all. So that is cardinal trait. This is what Alport says, common trait of personality, and individual trait of personality, and a cardinal. And then when we come to Sigmund Freud, he says, no, personality will be rooted very deep in the childhood itself. That is also to some extent, of course, correct. And I have made a special video about psychoanalysis here in the same channel. You please have a look at it. And then another important psychologist, that is Erikson. He is also a very popular psychologist. He says that personality is not fixed at one stage. either at childhood stage or in the middle stage or at the teenage stage. No, it is a continuous process. First one. The second one is, and in that continuous process, there will be development, a continuous development. Of course, it's exactly right, because in childhood you will have one kind of personality, as I said by what is it, Sigmund Freud, and in the after teenage, that is 20-25 years, one kind of personality, and 25 or 35 or 40, you will have a mature way of thinking in your personality traits or characters or individual different types of personality or different characteristic features in your way of thinking. What I said, about in respect of thoughts, emotions, behavior, in all these three factors, you will have different kinds of developments, the evolution we can say. And towards the close, by middle age or by old age, you will have stoic development, stoicism, well balanced mind, and all that. So it will have a wonderful evaluation or development. This is what Erickson says. Like that, the long and short of the matter is that personality will be decided on some different factors, and particularly thoughts, your way of thinking, cognitive, emotions, behavior, inner being, habits, and particularly your background and environment. This is about personality and trait theory of personality in brief. Thank you very much, and if you are impressed, please subscribe and encourage me.